The other thing we would want to talk about today would be requirements for brake controllers. And I have a couple different types of brake controllers and a connector to show you. This is a basic controller. It's solid state, it's digital electronics. And you can set the level on it from 0 to 10. What that does is activate the electric brakes on a trailer. This is needed on your vehicle if you have a trailer that has electric brakes. What this does is when you press the brake pedal, it'll apply voltage to the trailer brakes, and it's from 0 to 12 volts. The sensitivity set on it is the amount of brake you need on the trailer. The heavier the trailer, the more brake you need, so you'll have to add more voltage to it. You just turn the dial on it. It's got a 0 to 10 increments on it. They have to set the sensitivity manually on one of these. The other one is a smart controller, like one of these. Concha makes it. It's called a Prodigy. What this controller does, it has an electronic inertial system built into it. It can tell how hard you're braking by the inertia. So the harder you press the brake pedal, the more sensitive and the more voltage it applies to the electric brakes on the trailer to give you more braking. It's pretty much set and forget it. You don't have to mess with it. It doesn't jerk like a regular brake controller. It can tell if you're on it can tell if you're on an incline, like coming down a grade on a hill, to apply more brake to the trailer. And most people that use this controller and have used the older controller would not go back to the older controllers because it works so much better. All the trucks that are out there require different connectors. GM has its own connector. It's one of these. It wires to the back of the controller, has a connector that hooks to the plug underneath the dash. It's specific to each vehicle. So on most of these controllers, you have to the truck will either come with one of these when you buy it new, or you'll have to buy one to hook it up. So in a nutshell, that's basic towing 101. And if you have any questions, I'm open to questions if anybody would like to ask.
What is the price difference in the brake controllers?
This standard one here would go for about $108. The smart controller, that I like to call it, with the inertial system built into it, is typically about $100 more, about $208, right around 200 bucks. The connectors, if you have to buy one of these, range anywhere from 8 to 15 bucks for the connector, depending on the truck. Any other questions? Can you pause that?
What about the pricing on the fifth wheel and gooseneck hitches? How much would I have to spend?
Okay, if you need a gooseneck hitch, Truck's Unique, we stock typically just one type of gooseneck hitch, and it's a B&W turnover ball. It has a 30,000 pound capacity. That hitch is this one here. Most trucks, this hitch runs $429, and most all full-size pickup trucks, it's typically $100 to install. So that's like $529 plus tax. It takes a couple hours to install one. Fifth wheels, they start at about $712 for a 20,000 pound one like this one. You can buy a 15,000 pound one, a little cheaper than one of these, but it's not near as good a hitch. This one here has an articulation that moves right and left, front to right, front to back, excuse me. A 15,000 pound hitch only moves front to back. Those type of hitches are very difficult to hook up and disconnect. Therefore, we really just carry this one because this is what most everyone wants, and it's the best hitch to use in those circumstances, especially if you're not towing. If you haven't towed and you're relatively new beginner towing, this is the best type of hitch to use because it's easy to disconnect, easy to hook up, and you don't fight with it and get stuck. You have to have a rail kit. This hitch is sitting on top of the rail kit, which is this right here. The rail kits run $169, and then a head unit starts at $712, and it's about $250 to install it in the truck. The slider units, the head units, are a little bit more. The slider hitches go for $1,066 plus $169 for the rail kit and $250 to install. Any other questions?
So what kind of wiring do I need on my truck?
What kind of truck do you have?
2007 Chevy Silverado.
Do you know whether or not when you bought the truck, whether it had a tow package or not?
Well, it does have a hitch and it has a plug in the back, but I don't.
About how big is the plug? Is it a round one or flat one?
It's the round one. It's a big round one.
Big round one. So that's, more than likely, that's a 7-way RV plug. The 7-way RV plug has the capability of turn signals, brake lights, running lights, charge wire for charging the battery on the trailer, and a brake control wire, which is for your electric brakes on the trailer. So it has everything you need on the plug that you need for the trailer. However, if you don't already have a brake controller, you may need one of those to control the electric brakes, which will go in the cab, and it'll activate the electric brake on the trailer. So you package you have the hitch, you have the wiring, you just may need to add the brake control. Does that help you?
Yes. What if on a short bed truck, what if I decide I don't want a slider hitch? What if I want a regular hitch?
Well, you can do an extension like one of these that they're born gadgets right here. This strange looking contraption on this big stand right here. What this does, this back end right here, bolts up to the box on the fifth wheel trailer. Bolts where the kingpin is. It extends the kingpin out further from the front of the trailer to be able to hook up on a short bed pickup truck to where you can use a standard fifth wheel. So it gives you extra extension out to where you can clear when you're making tight turns. This will only work with certain hitches. Most hitches that articulate left and right on the pivot, this hitch will not work because of the way it moves. Now you can use one that's stationary and it'll be able to work with one of these hitches. This particular one wouldn't work with one of these. You just need a stationary hookup on the hitch where it doesn't move left and right, tilt left and right. So if you didn't want to use a slider, you can use one of these on the trailer. Is there any other questions? Okay, if there's no other questions, we'll wrap it up. This concludes the TU How-To for towing. Hope that helps everyone out there that had any questions about the confusion on towing and what they need to do. If you have any other requirements about Trucks Unique or questions, you can go online to trucksunique.com, and you can also give us a call. All the information is on there, our address and phone number and our hours. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.